Greetings, everyone. I wonder just how many of you have kind of learnt Reiki, maybe recently or a long, long time ago, and you think, you know what to do with it. I've learnt it, but can't be bothered. Too lazy, just never got the time to do anything with it. And what happens? It gets put to one side, and you think to yourself, why exactly is that? I mean, is it that life gets in the way? Maybe it wasn't quite what you expected. Maybe you thought was going to be the cure-all of everything. It was going to turn you into this amazing healer, going to be the second coming of perhaps. And you're still you. You're still just the ordinary person you was before. But maybe it's just that you see things a little bit different. But it wasn't quite what you expected. It wasn't all the bells and whistles that you thought might happen. And you neglect it. Fortunately, you do that. You're kind of neglecting yourself and the whole reason why we done it in the first place. There would have been a reason for you learning that. So as you have to go back and ask yourself, why is that? Because there's no doubt Reiki definitely can make a huge impact on your life. But it's like everything else. We kind of got to fight, get back to the very reason why. And, I talk about the secret to learning this, making the most out of your Reiki. It's really not that difficult when you really apply yourself and think about it. And we're going to go through 5 little suggestions that I've come up with. There will be much more, but I'm sure you don't want to hear me wafting on for an hour or so. So I'm going to keep it just to 5 little topics as such. And as we go through each one, just let me know your thoughts on each one. Maybe you think, oh, I never thought of that. And even better, if you think, oh, Gary never mentioned this one, please do share it with me because sharing is learning. It's almost not so much about sort of like sharing is caring, which it is, but sharing is learning. We're trying to teach each other here. You can teach me. You know, the way we learn is to listen to those around us and what they suggest, and we build our practice. But my favorite one, as we go through my 5 little tips, is number 4. I love number 4, and it's quite simple, really. But again, only if you listen and pay heed. So the first one, let's go to number 1. How do we get used to our sort of like Reiki practice? How do we make the most of it? Self-healing. Self-healing, working on ourselves each day. Going through each day, working our way through the body. You can go through the chakra systems if you like, or just a general all over one. You can do a hands-on treatment, go through all that way. I did do a recent self-healing video. You can check that out if you like. Or you can do mentally. You can literally just send energy to where you want to. That's something else. I will be doing quite a few videos in the coming months or so where we'll just gently go over these little practices. But in the meantime, the main thing is whatever works for you. I'm never going to be one of these people who's like chairman of like, of some great big CEO saying you must do it this way and, it's all pointed away there. I would not do that. Find the way that works for you. We're all unique. We all have our little idiosyncrasies and our own variety of doing things. Let's find what works for us and it will be perfect for you. It's the perfect thing for us all to kind of find a way of progress. Progress is what we seek. Progress is the way forward for you. So do your self-healing. Connect to the energy. Send it where it's needed. And sometimes it's going to be quite subtle. It's not going to be like crash bang wallop a lot of the time. It's just a nice routine. Simple. And let's look at those who are practitioners and they work with clients and family as well. Most of the time, isn't it just a nice relaxing scenario? Occasionally it's not, but most of the time that's what we tend to find. I certainly do. And we're just doing the same thing for ourselves. So don't be when you're doing putting your Reiki into yourself, you're thinking, oh, not a lot's happening. Uh, That's because we're just probably just not tuned into the effects we're going into our energy system and our body. But think of it this way, it's better to do than not to do. Taking the effort, you're making a statement to yourself when you're doing that Reiki healing, even if you don't believe in Reiki at all, what you're doing is you're telling your sort of like how we call it, our energy system, that I'm taking time for myself. I'm doing a bit of self-care. You go to the gym, you work out, don't some of us do, get our physical shape in order. Maybe we'll do mental arithmetic or something to, or some kind of mental stimulus to keep our brains active. This helps us keep our energy active. It's an energy practice. And there are other energy practices like Qigong, yoga, or if you're stepping up into sort of even martial arts. These are all ways we can certainly work our energy. Doing Reiki is a nice, simple, mindful way of working that. Why would you not consider that? So that's my tip number one. Number two is an energy practice called Hatsune Ho. Now, there's a sort of like some people have heard of Hatsune Ho in the Reiki community, others haven't. They've not come across that before. Um, Certainly, when I had done my first two levels, I had not come across this. It was only when I went to my third level where I sort of like found a new teacher who taught me this way of working. So, and for me, it's beautiful. What it all really is, it's like an energy exercise. If you look in my videos, when you finish this video, there's one called Reiki Flow, and that's all about Hatsune Ho. You can just follow it. It's basically a bit of dry bathing, getting into the space, breathing in and out energy, just focusing on where you are in the whole universe, and just being. It's very humbling, I find, but it's also very effective. So, self-healing Hatsune Ho, it's a nice way of finding that connection. So, these practices affirm your connection, maintain that connection, and build on it. Reiki is like anything else. Um, it's like a muscle. If you don't use it, it doesn't become as effective as what it used to be. But the great thing is, always remember this. So you might, and I've come across this myself. People might not have practiced Reiki for years, a decade or even longer. And they think, oh, if I try it again, is it still going to be there? It is. 100% you're connected. Simple as that. And it's actually quite a beautiful revelation when somebody does connect again. I think, oh, it's still here. I thought it would have gone away. Where would it go? Remember, this is just a beautiful way of working with our own birthright, and it's just a connection to the universe. Pure and simple. We've just walked the bridge. Walk the bridge to the universe comes to us. The universe wants us to work with that energy. So the energy can come down and go where it's needed. We need it with ourselves, and when we're sort of topped up, then we can work it as well. And it's also important if you're working with the sort of like general public or clients or even family and friends, it comes to us to keep making sure that everything is in a good place. Hatsureiho self-healing will help us get to that kind of like right state. So do consider working with those two energies. If, like I say, if you've not come across Hatsureiho before, check it out in my videos or look it up for yourself. It's spelled Hatsurei dash HO. So that's how you would find Hatsureiho. Go through, check it out, do some research yourself if you've not come across that before, and give it a go. Okay, and the third topic, so number three is always a powerful number, is doing some distant healing. Now, when I first done distant healing for the first time, I'm sure like many of us who've learnt Reiki, you're thinking, I was quite skeptical. I was thinking like, I really don't know if this is going to work. How can I send distant healing to somebody? I mean, they've got to be in a room, surely. I need to hover my hands and let the energy go where it's needed. Of course, it's nice to have that interaction sort of like with someone close to you and work that way. And this is certainly something I do recommend. It's not my five today, but of course, working with people in a closed environment is perfect. But distant healing is a nice thing you can do by just sending the energy to where it's needed. Um, Now, you can do this many ways. You can contact the person. In fact, I do recommend it's good manners at the end of the day to contact the person and just say you're going to send some healing to that person and just see what they feel or anticipate. Of course, if you're offering a paid service, people will ask for that service. I've done it several times, and I'm sure, like many of the Reiki practitioners here, we've sent it at a long distance, haven't we? We've sent it to other continents, other parts of our own country, but we can also send it to the next room. That's the beauty of it. And you can send that anywhere, anytime, any place, because as far as the energy is concerned, there's no time is meaningless. If I wanted to, not that I've not tried this yet, but I'm sure I could, and sure you could as all as well. You can send the energy right back to the Big Bang, before the creation of everything, because time is immemorial. It's just seamless. Um, but on a more down to earth level, why not contact some people that you feel would benefit from Reiki and see if they're receptive? Maybe send it. You could send it to others without their intention, but you are going into a bit of a grey area there, because then we don't want to get into the area of manipulation. But it's like this, isn't it? If you see someone lying in the street groaning and they got a broken arm or something, are you going to stay there? Excuse me, if you like, I would like to assist you, but I do need your written permission first. No, you're going to get in there and help, aren't you? Or call an ambulance or something. So there is that side. If you are wavering about doing that, you can always ask to your highest good, is it okay to send it to that person? Now, some people would even disagree with that. It really comes down to personal choice, and you could send it that way, and ask if it's not to be received, please send it to somebody that would benefit from that. So you can do it that way. Or, of course, if they are just so bad that they can't even communicate, someone's in hospital or in a coma, for example, just send the healing guys, because and it might just make a difference, because that will certainly help. But yeah, we do go into sort of like a whole sort of like spectrum there. So I'm going to say with distant healing, it really is up to you what you do, but bear in mind, I would always probably on the side of get the permission if you can first, or just let them know. Or just say something like, "I'd like to send you some distant healing. Is that okay, John?" And yeah, wait their response. It's a nice thing to do, um, and it just is a way of practicing. I find that actually sending distant healing sometimes, believe it or not, is more effective than in-person healing because there's no expectation really. There's no worrying about, well, I've got to watch where I put my hands, for example. I literally just hold the space and put it there. But one little thing I will say, sometimes we generate so much energy. If you're using like a mobile phone or a tablet as a proxy for their image and you're sending energy at that device, you might just frazzle it. I did it once with a laptop, not a laptop, a tablet. So I was wary of that. That was a few years ago. But remember, we're powerful energy beings, and if we start overloading the circuitry, could have a negative effect. So just make that aware for you. If you're liking these kind of videos that I'm doing, I would say please like and subscribe. I don't say this at the start of my videos because I know that's really annoying. So I'll wait until I know people are actually watching my content before I ask. Then I'll know it may be relevant to you. It's no point me saying this at the start to someone who's just channel hopping. So if this is useful for you, please like and subscribe. Thank you. The fourth one, my favourite one of all. And it's really about everything. And this is the big one. Keep showing up. Keep doing your practice. There's no point in doing a self-healing routine once every 6 weeks. And then oh, my energy's rubbish. No, we need to keep showing up. We need to keep showing up with the Reiki practice. Now, I don't like using the word need. It's something I try to avoid. But in this instance, I would say, yeah, it's needed, it's necessary. If we've taken the time to learn this beautiful practice, to work with that energy, got to keep doing it. You got to keep practicing. We want to get into a state where we can find it. It just feels natural to do so. And just like going to the gym, you know, wondering why you can't bench press a certain weight, keep building, 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 and one day you start moving it, and then you move to the next level, don't you, if you want it to? Or maybe you want to work on your cardiovascular system. You kind of have to put the effort in a little bit. But let's be honest, there's no effort with Reiki. Reiki is meant to be seamless, is meant to be easy, and it only becomes that way if we put the effort in to make it so. So it's a bit of a paradox there. You've got to try but not try. We try or we strive by keep showing up. So be present, and and that's what Reiki's about, isn't it? Being present in the moment. And you might say like, "Oh, Gary, I don't have the time." Well, okay, take your Reiki with you in the day. Let's imagine you're at work and you've got a task to do. You could just bring it to yourself, like, okay, guys, I've got a task to do. Bring some Reiki in to help me with that task. You're not interfering with anybody else, but you're just helping yourself, using that energy, maybe keeping you alert, making you sort of like stop you nodding off or whatever, or making your mind clear. But it's putting that energy to where it's required, and that's ourselves, isn't it? And we do that by keep showing up. Get creative with your Reiki. Have some new ideas. Try little nuances. Um, but like I said before, just be careful around electrical devices, because if you are really tuned in and there's a lot of energy coming off you, you can interfere with electrical devices. So just be aware of that. I know I've repeated that again, but I'll just want to hammer that point home. But just be present. Be here. Say to yourself, I'm here, I'm ready to do Reiki, let's rock, let's do what I want to do. And the fifth and final one is like, keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate things. Um, Reiki should be as simple as this, if that's your intention. Put the energy, if you're doing self-healing, I've got a sore shoulder, put your hand there and say, channel Reiki, please. We don't need to do all these intricate uh, routines and rituals and God knows what else. This isn't religion. This isn't sort of like summoning some deity from the ninth plane of the astral realm. No, we are keeping it simple. Keep it simple. I just need to bring some beautiful energy in, please. You just ask. It's like anything else. Can I please receive some beautiful Reiki healing for myself? So keeping it simple, we get this out of the way. It's like, empty your mind. Yeah, we've heard that before, haven't we? But if we can empty our mind, so all we're really doing is allowing ourselves to be a bridge for that Reiki energy to go through you to where it's needed. That's all you need to do, really. Of course, I know there'll be really Reiki masters and teachers who will say, actually, I've got these symbols I could use. Of course you can use those symbols. I'm not saying you can't. But what I tend to find is when I'm in that kind of blank state, as I connect, I might get an inkling then to use a certain symbol like a chakra ray or a Hatsa ray Hark at me, that's from earlier, or a dichomio, or a Tibetan dichomio, or whatever it may come to pass. But I think for all of us, if we can just go blank as we start and just keep it as simple as possible, and it will really help people who are overthinkers. People really need to think that, all right, I've got this bit wrong. I was doing a connection routine. Did I remember to connect to me Reiki? Did I do it properly? Did I, build the energy first? Or did I just dive in? Is it going to work? Oh, no, it might not work. And then what happens? We start sort of like breaking one of the Reiki precepts. Do not worry. And so that's what I'm going to say to those who are overthinking. Stop worrying. Don't worry. Just allow yourself to get in the space, put a big smile on your face, come from the heart space, let that energy come down, keep it nice and easy. What could be better, eh? So there you go, everybody. that's my little 5 tips. Please do share your thoughts. I would love to hear your thoughts. I really do appreciate, and I will do my darndest to answer those little comments as well, those little questions, and share the wisdom, and it could well something might inspire me to go, oh, that's an idea. That might be another idea for a video, for example, because um, maybe I'll quote two of my favourite people. It's like Acid Bubbles said, "Oh Gary, what about blah blah blah?" Thanks, dude, for commenting on my sort of like posts and stuff I put in the community part. I often put little daily posts up, and Acid Bubbles, he likes to. Oh, it can't be a she. Sorry, it might be a she. How dare you, Gary? I'd be being so presumptuous. Putting those little comments in there as well. And I've seen Rosanna as well. She's put a few in there. And and of course, Marion has put some lovely comments as well. So if there's such little questions you want to ask, let me know. I'll do my best to answer them, or maybe if I don't know, I'll ask someone that will. There we go, everybody. Thank you so much if you've got this far. And shall I give you a little trick, a little trial? Who's still here? Type keyboard in the comments. Keyboard, yeah, typing away. And oh no, you're part of a very special gang, very special crew who stay to the end. Much love to you all. Thank you so much. And enjoy your day, your evening, your week, wherever you are, whenever you see this video, because you might be seeing this 2 years down the line from when I record it. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.